Hi, this is Catherine Roseanne with Board Game Geek here at SPIEL 2016. I'm sitting here with Vangelis Bagiartakis from TPA Games, and he's here to talk about Fields of Green. So please, tell me about the game.
So this is a card drafting game in which you try to build your own farm. You start with just a water tower and the silo, and you try to build fields, livestock, construction, small buildings you want, and big buildings here, which they will help you expand your farm. The game is based on Among the Stars, another of our games, but it's not just a re-theme. We wanted to be able to stand on its own and have its own identity. So we worked on the theme and we applied it here to the game. And one way we did that was by making it an engine building game.
All right.
So you have the water towers, which is the equivalent of the energy in Among the Stars. Here has a more prominent role. You use it to water your fields, and when you water your fields, they give you food, which is an extra resource that we added. And you use that food to feed your animals. And the animals, on turn, when they are fed, they give you money, and you use that money to build big buildings that give you more points depending on what you have in your farm. Now, the way the game is played is that you start with 6 cards. You pick one, you give the rest to the player on your left, and you build that card somewhere on your farm, adjacent to one of the other cards you already have.
Orthogonally.
Yes, always orthogonally. The thing is that depending on where you put each card, it is important because the cards combine with each other.
All right.
For example, this one says that you get 2 food, but if you build it adjacent to a silo, for example here, you also get 1 equipment. Equipment is a new thing we added in the game. These tiles are called equipment tiles. You place them on cards, and they provide you with some ability. So they can make your water towers more efficient or your fields more productive. They improve the cards on which they are placed.
And it says the name of the card that you have to place them on. So this
Exactly,
needs to go
yes.
on a field, this needs to go on a water tower.
Exactly, exactly. So this, when you get an equipment, you draw 3 tiles, you pick one, and you put the rest on the bottom, and you place it on where it will be most useful to you. A key thing, there are 2 major things that we changed compared to Among the Stars. One was that the inclusion of the harvest phase. Now, in the previous game, the abilities were either immediate, you perform the ability exactly when you play the card, and there were the ones game end abilities, which you would check at the end of the game. In this game, we added the harvest phase. It's the end of the round. Now you have abilities that you need to check at the end of every round, and these abilities come with a cost. So, at the first,
if you want to harvest your field, you have to then pay the water to.
So this one, for example, requires 2 water in order to give you this ability.
And the sheep needs you to pay 2 food to let keep the sheep alive.
The problem is that these are not optional. You have to do them. So you have to make sure that you have enough water in order to water your plant. And this will give you food. You have to make sure that you produce enough food in order to take care of all of your animals. But if you do it efficiently, you'll get a lot of money, which will allow you to go for cards that will give you more points. Especially the big buildings, they are the cards that have the game end abilities, and they play with what you already have. This one looks for meat livestock. You see, every livestock card has a characteristic here. This one is dairy and is also meat.
This one is a vegetable.
This one is a field that's a vegetable, and you have cards that interact with vegetables or with fruits or with cereal.
I see this one has range 2 on it, meaning you can only give water to things that are maximum 2 away.
Yes, but you can play around with this. For example, there is equipment that can increase its range or that can increase the water it produces, things like that. But here, since you give water every turn to your plants, you have ways of generating more water. You can build more water towers, but you can also have ways to refill your water towers.
Yeah, I see on this one, for example, it says put 1 water on your tower.
Exactly. Every upkeep, you add 1 more water.
This one says discard to refill it, and so
exactly.
on.
Now, the other big thing that we changed compared to Among the Stars was these 4 piles. Instead of having a single deck from which you drew the cards, now you have these 4 piles, and you get to select where you will draft from.
Oh.
So
if you want to get more meat so that you can sell it and therefore get more money,
Exactly.
then you would take from the livestock pile. Or
Since the engine now is such an important thing in the game, we have ways for you to look for what you need in your engine. If you don't have enough animals, you can pick more animals. If you don't have, if you generate a lot of money but you need ways to spend it, you can go for more buildings. The thing is that, and something that we realized after we started playing with it, was that another level to the game, another aspect, in that it was important what you chose compared to the other players. So if we're playing a game and you get to pick a lot of fields to draw, and I want fields, I know that your cards will get passed to me. So I play around that and I'll say, okay, I'll go for more buildings since I will be getting fields from you. So that added a very nice element to the game, which made the game more interactive on that part. And we also worked a lot on the two-player game, in which the normal drafting doesn't play very well if you have a single card, a single hand of cards. Giving it back and forth, it's not very exciting. But we have special two-player rules where you lay out the cards, and now it's an open draft for the two-player game. You have 6 cards always available. So I pick one, you pick one, and then we draw 2 more. I pick one, you pick one, and it goes like that for every round.
Interesting.
And this is it's a nice way to teach the game to new players, because all the abilities are down there. If someone has a question, he can ask you and say, oh, what exactly does that do? The cards are open. And it's also way more strategic and tactical, and oh, look, he will go for that, but I need to get this one. Will he pick it up? Oh, he doesn't have enough money. When you have everything open,
it makes it a completely different game.
Yes, more interesting. And we're really happy and excited with how the two-player game turned out. We have this nice custom wooden component, which we're very proud of.
Really nice pieces. I like the water especially.
Yes.
That's great. Thank you. How long does the game typically take to play?
45 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes, depending on the number of players.
And 2 to 4?
2 to 4 players. No.
Thank you so much. That is Fields of Green from RTBA Games.